we have a mental health therapist in the house. She's also a teens coach, and she's going to talk to us about building resilience with teens. Please join me as I welcome Eberechi.
Good morning.
Ever smile.
Thank you for having me today.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning. I hope you had a good night's rest.
Yes, I did. Thank you for
mental health. And I know you've always told us to make sure we sleep well, just like our health tips also said. Now, let's look at strategies, techniques that can help our teenagers. But first, let's start. What does it mean for a layman watching us building resilience in our teens?
So, resilience is the ability to bounce back after you have faced a challenge or an issue. So it's like that you're able to spring back up. So resilience is that you're able to heal from, for an example, if it's your physical body, you're able to heal from that injury or from that thing that happened and you move on. So building, I love that term building, because it's not something that just happens at the snap of your finger. It's a process. It takes time. It's like cultivating it. So you have the foundation, you need to know the basics. What do I even want to plant? What do I want to build? You need to know exactly what it is. Then you now lay, the next blocks, the things that, you now put the pillars and you put the roof. So when you look at resilience, is something that takes a while to build. And then it starts from the foundation. It starts from the basics of the environment where that person is, and then the knowledge that person is exposed to. So we're talking about teenagers today, and one of the things I've noticed is that a lot of teenagers are like babies in an adult body. So their brain is still forming. There are still parts of their brain. Exactly. Okay. Their body is sometimes, looks big, but their mind takes a lot of, is still in a processing stage. So one of the things that we do most times as adults is, you should know. Don't you know? Those things that we tell them, and those things, the person is just looking at you like, I don't know what to do. I'm asking here. So thank you for even bringing that up, because what we need to do, one of the basic things you need to understand is, like I always say in anytime I talk to people, I talk with my clients, I tell them that the capacity to be resilient, the capacity to adapt, the capacity to grow is already inside of you. So it starts from, I have the capacity. I can do it. I can move on from here.
Positive state.
Exactly. It's once you can get that, first of all, the positive, that belief in the possibilities. It's like I was talking about the foundation. It's like the foundation of every other thing that you put on
the board. For you, how can it be developed?
Okay. Like I talked about the foundation of the environment where they find themselves. It starts from 1, I can do it. 2, what are the goals? I can set small goals. This is what I'm facing right now. How do I bounce from it? 3, modeling. I want to just, something occurred to me there was a session, one of my children, the others had, I was with a friend, in their end of year celebration, their award prizes and all. So the others, my friend's siblings, her children, the others had awards. So one that didn't get any award, she did well, but she didn't scale to get any award from the school. My daughter just turned to her. I was shocked because we were just watching her. My daughter just turned to her and said, don't worry, it doesn't define you. I was shocked, and I looked back and I said, wow, where did this girl learn it? So modeling, they've seen how, yes, I push you to do well, but even if it doesn't work out, there is still possibility. It's not the end of you. So those things, they have seen it happen with a model, with their parent, with their guardian, and then they are now able to give that same thing back. Exactly. From an example. So a teenager should have a model So if for an example, as a parent, you've not been able to understand how to bounce back, so they see something happens to maybe your business and I'm finished, oh, my life is over, I cannot,
And they see
that's what they see you weak. So that's what they feel like, oh, this is what it's about, because you are their role model. So that's how modeling has a lot to play with resilience.
Do you think positive mindset, just like what we're saying now, but I know it has a lot of role to play.
Yes, it does.
So
there are two major mindsets when it has to do with the mindset. We have the fixed mindset, and then we have the growth mindset. Fixed mindset that doesn't want to change. In fact, practically in layman terms, it's just someone that just, I don't want to change. It's not my fault. This is what came to me. I cannot do anything about it. As whatever comes, let it come. As like you're now. So when things hit, that is, it's more like if something hits a moving object. I think the little about physics that I know, it gives it more momentum to keep moving. But if something hits a stationary object, it needs extra energy. Either that thing it's either going to destroy that thing, shatter that. I mean, there is going to be a more massive effect of that impact on that object. So when we talk about the fixed mindset, it actually affects a lot of people. I mean, even with my clients, with the teenagers I coach, once they say, no, we're from a poor background, there's nothing we can do. But a growth mindset is, I understand that I have capacity to change.
Okay.
I have capacity to do better. And it now starts seeking solution. How do I do better? A fixed mindset is, I cannot change. This is how I am. A growth mindset thinks, how do I do better? How do I progress from here? So these two, it has a major role to play in our mental capacity, in our capacity to recover from challenges that we face.
I also know that fear of the unknown, that fear of what will happen if I take this step, if I take it, that you understand.
Yes.
And then, what about if I fail? So how do you think teenagers can manage setbacks and challenges?
Beautiful. Now, when we teach teenagers, and we even explain to parents as well, is to help them to fail forward. Fail forward. So, there's something we call it. We say learning how to fail. Yes, because we're afraid of failure because of the idea we have failure as. What we see failure as, because I failed, I am a failure. It's different. Failure can be seen once you have the correct perception of what failure is. It can be seen as something that will motivate you. Thank you. A stepping stone. So one of our coaches was, recently in a session, one of the things he said, is your failure a motivator or a limitation? So when you begin to see failure as a motivator, okay, so this has happened, I have failed, does not mean that I'm going to remain here. So I know how better not to do it next time. Take time to check, what did I do wrong? Did I not study properly? Or maybe I didn't answer the questions well, or maybe I was too hasty. Those, allow yourself time. So that you failed. I mean, sometimes even when I talk with some of my teenagers, I tell them, I said, if there is any reason for you to repeat a session, do it. Don't see it as, oh, my mates are moving forward and I'm back. No, it's a learning process. It's a process for growth and maturity. And that's what separates the people that we say are more emotionally mature than the people that are just physically mature and there's no emotional maturity.
Okay. Where is the place? Is there any place for exercise? Is there anywhere exercise can help?
Definitely. So, like when you're building your physical strength, you exercise your body to build physical strength. When you need to build emotional and mental strength, that is resilience, you need to exercise your emotions. That's what we call emotional regulation. So you learn how to, I'm upset. It doesn't mean that anger is evil or failure is bad. It's now how I use that, how I learn from that. What were the triggers? What made me feel like this? How can I react better? So you recognize in order to respond accurately. Now, like I said, it's a process. You don't just suddenly you know how to handle your emotions. So one of the things that my children do, and some of these things are just things I do unconsciously, and then they've observed it and they now know better. So if any of them, like amongst them, someone is really upset, the other one just calm down, breathe before you respond. It may not be the way. Even when I look at them, I'm like, okay, this is good. So knowing how to, the last time someone offended me, I was upset and I threw a tantrum and I broke it. Next time, what do I do differently? How do I now manage it? But you have to exercise it, not run away from it.
Now, as you round up your final one, what role do you think community, when I mean community, can play to help our teenagers? Because I know that a lot of them are battling with either drug abuse, negative peer pressure, a lot of financial challenges, especially in our school, universities. So what role do you think all of us, as you round up, as you
Thank you very much. So what I want to encourage first for the teenagers is please find a role model. Find someone that has walked the waters that would be able to hold your hands and help you to make that transition. Even if you don't have it in your parents, you may have it as a teacher in school. You may have as someone that maybe in your place of worship or someone that you recognize. Find a role model, find a mentor. That's one. Because in community, the side I'm from, they say it's not one person that trains a child. It's a community that trains a child. Then the second thing I want to encourage is please live in the moment. Like we were saying before, we started recording. Live one day at a time, because there's this thing of, hey, I want to make plenty money so that I'll be like this person. Forget that thing you see on social media is acting. It's not the reality. It's make believe. So live in the moment, and that's what we call mindfulness. What is going on with me now? What is happening with me now? Then the third thing I want to encourage, journaling. Take notes of that. Keep a journal. Then we used to have diaries, what we call, that's what it is. Keep diaries, digital diary, physical diary. Keep diaries.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you see, as you're talking, I see the passion. Because I know that I've seen where you address the teenagers in schools. You go around schools talking to them. Thank you so much.
So much.
Building resilience in our teens is something that we must pay attention to, because a lot of things, they are like vulnerable.
Yes.
A lot of things are happening, especially when they are in an environment where the basic things are not available. They're trying to just do what they are supposed to do. Thank you so much. We'll be speaking with a mental therapist, a teens coach, someone who has passion for the teen, a very honor. You've heard all she said. All hands need to be on deck. Honestly, we need to hold our youth. We need to have listening ear. We need to help them come out of challenges and then tell them there is hope.
I know this video has been of help to you. Encourage us by clicking the like button. Also share with your loved one and click the notification bell. Subscribe for more info.